Listen closely for the next few moments, because what is happening right now may feel too big to explain with normal words. You did not land here by accident. You did not press play for no reason. Something in you was searching, even if you could not name it, and now you are here at the exact moment this message found you. If you have been carrying pressure in your chest, if you have been checking your account and feeling tired, if you have been smiling in public while silently asking how much longer you can keep this up, stay with me. Do not click away. This next part matters more than you think. There are moments in life when everything looks the same on the outside, but deep underneath a shift has already started. This may be one of those moments for you. Before this message is over, I want your heart to become steady, your mind to become clear, and your spirit to remember that lack does not have the final word over your life. Take one slow breath. Let the noise settle, and quietly say inside yourself, I am ready to receive what is being opened for me. Say it again with more belief. I am ready to receive what is being opened for me. Because what begins in a moment of faith can echo through an entire season, and today may be the day everything starts moving in a different direction. Maybe you have been doing your best and still feeling behind. Maybe every bill feels loud, every delay feels personal, and every closed door has started to convince you that nothing will ever change. But hear this with calm strength. Your struggle is not proof that you have been forgotten. Your waiting is not proof that nothing is happening. Some things grow in silence first. Some answers form where eyes cannot see. A seed under the ground does not look impressive. It looks buried. It looks hidden. It looks like nothing at all. But while no one is watching, life is pushing, stretching, building, preparing for the moment it breaks through. That is where many people quit too early. They look at the surface and think the story is over, when in truth the deeper work has only just begun. So if your life has felt slow, if progress has felt invisible, do not confuse hidden with absent. Do not confuse quiet with empty. This season may have been shaping your endurance, sharpening your attention, and teaching you how to stand steady before the next door opens. And yes, that door can open faster than you think. Stay with me, because this is where many people miss it. They expect change to announce itself loudly, yet often it begins like a whisper, like a small inner turning, like a sudden peace where fear used to live. That quiet change inside you can become the beginning of visible change around you. Now picture something with me. See a door in front of you, but not an ordinary one. This door carries your future on the other side. It is not marked by fear. It is not locked by your past. It is not guarded by the mistakes you made when you were tired, confused, or desperate. It stands there with your name on it, and even if you have doubted yourself, that door has not forgotten you. Right now imagine it beginning to move, not because you forced it, not because you earned it perfectly, but because the timing of your breakthrough has been getting closer while you were busy surviving. There are paths being cleared that you cannot yet measure. There are conversations, ideas, openings, and answers already moving into place. This is why you must be careful with the story you keep repeating to yourself. If you keep saying nothing works for me, your mind starts looking for proof. If you keep saying doors never open for me, you start missing the doors already cracking open. But if you begin saying something new is unfolding for me, your eyes sharpen, your posture changes, your spirit becomes alert, and slowly you begin to notice what fear kept hiding from you. This is not pretending, this is alignment. This is choosing not to let old language imprison a new season. So right here, right now, let the old sentence break, let the tired script end. Say inside yourself, what once felt blocked is beginning to open. Say it with peace, not panic, because this shift does not need your fear, it needs your agreement. There is a law in the inner life that many people ignore until they are desperate enough to listen. What you repeatedly believe and speak begins to shape how you see, how you move, and what you are ready to receive. Most people speak from what they see in front of them. They look at an empty wallet, a slow business, an unpaid invoice, a delayed opportunity, and then they build their words around the pain of the moment. They say there is never enough. They say nothing good is coming. They say things are always hard. And over time those words do not stay small. They become atmosphere. They become expectation. They become the lens through which every new opportunity is judged. But faith works in the other direction. Faith does not deny reality. It refuses to let reality have the loudest voice. Faith says, I see the pressure, but I also believe something greater is still possible. I see the need, but I also believe provision can appear in ways I do not yet understand. That is the turn. That is the inner change. And once that change begins, your words begin to sound different. Instead of saying I am stuck, you begin saying a way is being prepared. Instead of saying I always miss my chance, you begin saying the right opening will not pass me by. This is why your words matter. Not because words alone are magic, but because words repeated with belief train your heart, focus your mind, and prepare your actions. Keep listening, because this next part can change the way you pray forever. When you pray from fear, you often sound scattered. Your mind races, your heart begs, your thoughts jump from problem to problem. But when you pray with trust, something settles. Your words become cleaner, stronger, more direct. You stop speaking as if all hope is outside your reach, and you begin speaking as someone who believes help is already moving. That difference matters. You are no longer throwing weak words into the dark. You are planting clear seeds. Think of every prayer as a seed with direction inside it. If you fill that seed with panic, it grows more panic. If you fill it with defeat, it deepens defeat. But if you fill it with trust, gratitude and expectation, over time it grows a different inner world, and from that inner world your outer choices begin to change. You notice ideas sooner. You speak with more confidence. You take wiser steps. You stop shrinking from doors that once intimidated you. That is why this is not only spiritual language, it becomes lived reality. A person who believes new opportunities are coming walks into the day differently from a person convinced that loss is inevitable. One is alert, one is open, one asks better questions. One is more ready to act when the moment arrives. So guard your mouth in hard seasons. This is the real test. Anyone can speak hope when everything feels easy. But when the pressure rises, that is when your language reveals what has been living inside you. And if needed, start simple. Say I am not abandoned. Say a way is being made. Say what I need can find me at the right time. You do not need fake hype. You do not need empty phrases. What you need is a steady inner agreement that provision is possible, that your life is not locked into one painful pattern forever, and that what is unseen can still become visible in time. Many people give up too early because they expect instant proof. They pray once, maybe twice, and when nothing dramatic happens by evening, they decide it failed. But some of the deepest changes begin below the surface. A field does not look transformed the day after it is planted, yet the work has begun. In the same way, when you choose faith over fear, when you speak differently, when you refuse to feed hopelessness every morning, something starts moving that may not be visible right away. Connections begin forming, ideas begin rising, timing begins rearranging itself. And then often when you least expect it, something opens, a call comes, a reply lands, a chance appears, a burden lifts. What looked still was not still at all. That is why patience is not passive. Patience is active trust. It is staying aligned while the unseen work continues. It is refusing to tear up the seed, because you cannot yet see the tree. So if you have been tempted to say nothing is changing, pause before you say it. You do not know what is being prepared beyond your sight. And this is where your focus matters. Not shallow positivity, steady expectation, quiet confidence, the kind that says I may not see the full path yet, but I will not talk myself out of the good that may already be on its way. There is also power in being specific. Vague fear drains you, but clear expectation strengthens you. Instead of repeating general distress, bring your heart into focus. Do not just say things are bad. Say the first need: open doors, wise ideas, faithful people, fresh income, and peace while I move forward. Do not just say I hope something changes. Say new opportunities are finding me, the right work is coming into view, and I am ready to act with wisdom when it appears. That kind of language does something inside you. It clears fog. It gives shape to hope. It teaches your mind what to look for. The more clearly you speak, the more clearly you begin to recognize answers when they arrive. And yes, answers do not always come wrapped the way you expected. Sometimes provision looks like a new connection. Sometimes it looks like one idea that turns into many. Sometimes it looks like wisdom that stops waste before more damage is done. Sometimes it looks like courage to begin again, where shame once kept you frozen. Do not underestimate quiet answers. Do not overlook small beginnings. A small opening can become a major turning point if you treat it with attention. This is why you must stay awake in your spirit, stay watchful, stay ready. Some people ask for change and then ignore it when it comes in a form that looks too small to matter. But a tiny step taken seriously can unlock momentum, and momentum, once it begins, can carry you farther than endless worrying ever could. If this is reaching you, do not just hear it, receive it, let it settle, let it become part of the way you think. Now let gratitude enter the picture, because expectation without gratitude can turn restless, and gratitude without expectation can become stagnant. But when the two come together, something beautiful happens inside you. Gratitude grounds you in what is already present. It keeps your heart from living in permanent complaint. It trains you to notice what still works, what still remains, what still carries value even in hard seasons. And that matters, because a person who sees nothing but loss often misses resources already in their hands. Gratitude sharpens vision. It says maybe everything is not where I want it to be, but not everything is gone. There is still breath, still strength, still a lesson, still a chance, still one more step I can take today. Yet gratitude alone is not the full picture. You are not called to shrink your hope just to protect yourself from disappointment. This is where expectation steps in with quiet courage. Expectation says, I am thankful for what I have, and I am also ready for more. I am not clinging in fear. I am not settling in defeat. I am open. I am prepared. I am watching for the next instruction, the next opening, the next sign of movement. When gratitude and expectation live together, you stop sounding desperate. You begin to sound steady. You stop begging from emptiness. You begin to speak from trust. And that shift changes how you carry yourself, how you respond to delay, and how ready you are when fresh opportunities appear. Do not miss this. This part is important. A grateful heart sees clearly. An expectant heart moves forward. Together they create room for new things to enter. When you live with gratitude and expectation at the same time, you become different in ways people can feel before they can explain. Your tone changes. Your reactions change. Your energy becomes less heavy, less reactive, less trapped in survival. And that matters because opportunities often move through relationships, conversations and impressions. People are drawn to calm confidence more than constant desperation. They respond differently to someone who carries steadiness. This does not mean you hide your struggle or pretend everything is easy. It means your inner life is no longer ruled by panic. You begin to show up with a grounded presence. You listen better. You decide better. You stop making every choice from fear of loss, and you begin making more choices from alignment with growth. That alone can shift a life over time. And when setbacks come, because they do come, gratitude keeps you from collapsing, and expectation keeps you from quitting. One keeps you rooted. The other keeps you moving. This is why emotional stability matters so much. If your hope only survives when results are immediate, it will not survive long. But if your hope is built on a deeper trust, then even a delay cannot steal everything from you. You may feel disappointed for a moment, but you will not be destroyed by it. You will return to center. You will keep speaking life. You will keep taking wise action. And that consistency matters more than one emotional burst of inspiration. Anyone can feel strong for a day, but the people who see real change are often the ones who keep their words, focus and actions aligned long after the first emotion fades. Consistency is where inner belief becomes visible power. Not one intense moment, not one emotional prayer, not one day of saying all the right things. Consistency, the repeated choice to return to trust when fear tries to take over again. The repeated decision to guard your words when frustration wants to speak first. The repeated action of showing up, learning, adjusting, trying again, and refusing to let temporary pressure become your permanent identity. This is how strength is formed. This is how a breakthrough is sustained after it begins. Many people lose momentum because they misunderstand progress. They are waiting for one giant moment while ignoring the small movements that actually build a new future. Progress often starts in seeds. A better thought, a cleaner habit, a new contact, a wiser financial decision, one open conversation, one bold application, one honest prayer in the middle of a hard morning. These things can look small, but small does not mean weak. Small things repeated become momentum. Momentum protected becomes change, and change sustained becomes a new season. So do not despise little beginnings. Do not insult the early stage of your own answer. Nurture what starts, protect what opens, follow through on what is placed in front of you. Because once belief begins supporting action, the cycle strengthens. You notice more, you do more, you grow more. One step reveals the next. This is how lives turn, not always in one flash, but through a series of faithful responses that slowly become undeniable. There is another part many people ignore, and it is this: doubt will return sometimes. Fear will try to come back. Old thoughts will knock on the door of your mind and ask to be welcomed in again. This does not mean you failed. It means you are human. The key is what you do next. Do not build a home for those thoughts. Do not feed them with endless agreement. Notice them, yes, but then answer them. If fear says nothing is changing, answer it with truth. Movement can happen before I see it. If doubt says you always miss your moment, answer it. What is meant for this season will not pass me by. If shame says you ruined too much already, answer it. I can still respond with wisdom today. This is mental discipline, and it matters. A stable life is not built by never feeling pressure. It is built by refusing to let pressure run the whole story. The more you practice this, the less dependent you become on external proof to stay centered. You stop needing constant signs to remain grounded. Your trust becomes deeper. Your focus becomes stronger. And from that place, your actions become more consistent too. You do not just dream, you move. You do not just say you believe in growth. You make choices that match it. You seek knowledge. You manage better. You act when timing is right. This is important, so stay with me. Belief without action becomes fantasy. Action without belief becomes exhaustion. But when belief and action move together, progress becomes much more natural. That is where small breakthroughs begin multiplying into something larger than you first imagined. So here is the turning point. Stop speaking about your future as if it must repeat your worst seasons forever. Stop announcing defeat over days that have not yet fully unfolded. Stop treating your current pressure like a prophecy. What you are facing is real, yes, but it is not all that is real. There is also possibility. There is also wisdom. There is also favor. There are also ideas you have not yet received, doors you have not yet seen, and solutions that have not yet fully appeared. Let your language reflect that. Begin saying, new provision is coming in ways I may not expect. Begin saying, the right opportunities are moving closer. Begin saying, I will recognize what is being opened, and I will respond with courage. Begin saying, I am not chasing in panic. I am moving in alignment. These words are not empty when your heart starts agreeing with them. They become direction. They become inner architecture. They help rebuild what fear tried to tear down. And if you have spoken against yourself for a long time, do not be discouraged. Start now. Start small. Start honest. You do not need dramatic performance. You need repeated truth. Day by day, word by word, choice by choice. That is how a new atmosphere forms around your life. That is how you shift from survival language to receiving language. And once that shift takes root, even your face begins to carry a different message. You look less defeated. You listen differently. You stand differently. And often before the visible answer arrives, the first miracle is that you no longer sound like someone who has already given up. Now let this become prayer. Not rushed, not weak, not uncertain. Let it rise with calm authority from a heart that is tired of fear and ready for peace. Say this within yourself as you listen. I am thankful for every breath, every lesson, every door that protected me by staying closed, and every door that is now ready to open. I release the language of lack. I release the habit of expecting the worst. I release the fear that tells me nothing good can happen for me. I choose to believe that provision can find me, that wisdom can guide me, and that the right things can arrive at the right time. I choose to see small progress with gratitude and meet new opportunities with courage. Let what has been delayed come into alignment. Let what has been hidden come into view. Let what has been tied up begin to loosen. Let my thoughts be clear, my words be clean, my actions be wise, and my heart remain steady while the process unfolds. Teach me to notice what I used to ignore. Teach me to protect what begins small. Teach me to move when it is time to move, and to rest when it is time to trust. I welcome peace into my mind and expectation into my spirit. I do not need to force what is mine. I only need to be ready when it appears. And I declare that the season ahead will not look exactly like the season behind me. As you carry this forward, remember that the real shift is not just in one emotional moment. It is in what you repeat after this message ends. When the day gets loud again, return to this. When fear tries to reclaim your attention, return to this. When a delay tempts you to speak defeat, return to this. Keep your words aligned. Keep your spirit open. Keep your gratitude active. Keep your expectation alive. Keep your actions honest and consistent. Because change often arrives where preparation has been quietly taking place. And if something in you feels lighter already, hold on to that. If something in you feels more awake, protect that. If something in you feels ready again, move with that. This is not the end of the message. It is the beginning of your agreement with a different direction. Stay steady, stay watchful, stay open. One idea can change a month. One connection can change a year. One act of faith can interrupt a long pattern of fear. So do not talk yourself out of the good that may already be drawing near. Let your life begin to speak a new sentence. Let your mornings carry a new sound. Let your heart stand in quiet confidence and say, I am grateful for what is here, I am ready for what is coming, and I will not shrink back when the door opens. If this spoke to you, keep listening to it again in your spirit, long after the words are over. Sometimes the shift begins in a moment, but it grows through what you choose next.